technically were not hearing us.
What do you mean you're not hearing? They're hearing us.
Well, you just, no. You didn't add anything to the stream. Did you put it? You were not hearing us. Right, so
But yeah, they're hearing us. I told you they're hearing us.
they're hearing us now.
Well, of course, because I'm a genius.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Carl Caton. Haven't heard that guy in a minute, eh? And today's Wednesday. Carl and I are supposed to meet up on Wednesdays to chit chat.
I think commitment is people's problem.
Yeah.
I also have that problem, so.
So, Carl, today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
And can you please indicate to me as to what time you'll be able to come here so I can definitely make myself available?
Yeah.
All right, let me see. He's typing.
It's a really good listener. Look at that.
He's typing.
Excuse me.
All right. I can say to you, this one is the greatest, you know.
I feel like every time I try to get up, you have something to say.
Yes, but I must say this one to you. This one has to be said to you. Because we have to give props where props is due. You know, we don't take away props from people. We give props to people.
Yes.
Kindra is already on.
That's lovely.
Mathurine-Stewart is already on. Give her the
Woman
props.
of action.
Yeah, but now you're talking action.
Yes.
Yeah, she's ready.
I like that.
She's ready because I looked up there and I saw KM. I'm like, okay. Oh, there she is. But nobody could see her yet. We said hi to her. We'll get to you at 15 minutes before 8. You can do what you got to do. Right. Wonderful smile.
I love that.
You love that? Okay. Yeah, you can stay there and love that. I've seen her. Right. So, no, she's gone again. Leave her alone. But she's there. So that's good. So that means she's prepared and ready to roll. Great, wonderful.
Lovely.
We've never had.
It's the first politician I think they've had that has come on very early. No hiccups, no issues. I'm very proud.
I am too.
I'm very happy. This is the next PM. Sorry.
No.
Time is money.
What? Just so you drop Emma?
Yeah.
No, you can't drop Emma like that. You must be crazy. Good morning, Grenada.
What you say when you talk? When you go? When you go? What you say when you talk?
It's a hungry world out there.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Neil Chaitan, International Social Skill Consultant, and I'm here to let the public know that every child has a right to say no to sexual violence.
And me say no make them take advantage of you.
When you think of Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, what comes to mind? A reliable financial institution that has stood the test of time. Maybe you think about the convenience and quality financial service they provide. Do you think about their readiness to help you retire, achieve your academic goals, build your dream home, buy the piece of land, or the elegant car? Or maybe the convenience of their different locations, Jubilee Street in Grenville, or the new outlet on Lucas Street in St. George's in the Derek Sylvester building. Maybe you always consider how they're always a phone call away, 442-8602 or 438-4228. They're also online, www.grenvillecreditunion.com. No matter what comes to mind, remember, Grenville Cooperative Credit Union is the best place to save and to borrow, working with you to make your brighter tomorrow.
There comes a time in every household when a loved one passes on, and we all need the support and guidance of a trusted friend. Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home has been your dedicated friend. And now, for your convenience and added financial ease, we introduce specially designed complete funeral packages from as low as $5,500. Same professional quality services, but now greater choices at the lowest possible prices. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. Conditions apply. Serving you from locations in St. George's, Grenville, and Caricom. Call us at 440-2302 any time of day. LaCroix Brothers Funeral Home, continuing a tradition of excellence.
26 minutes and 50 seconds after the 7 o'clock. Good morning to you, Lady Mitchell. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Andre. I am fine, thank you. What's about you?
I'm okay.
Okay, great to hear.
Yeah. What's the weather going to be like today and for the next, 24 hours?
Yes.
Great. Tell us.
Okay, good morning to all the listeners of Real FM. Firstly, let's take a glance at the tropics. Currently, there are two waves in the eastern Atlantic. The wave in closest proximity is about 500 miles southeast of Grenada and moving at 10 to 15 knots. Weather models suggest that the axis of this wave will traverse our shores on Thursday. A moderate concentration of Saharan dust has invaded the eastern Atlantic, and weather models suggest that this plume should persist for the next 3 to 4 days. Persons who are most sensitive to this should exercise extra caution. Currently at the Morris Bishop International Airport, it is partly cloudy and hazy. The prevailing winds are easterly at 20 miles per hour. The barometric pressure reads 14.2 millibars. That's above normal and rising. The current temperature is 27.4 degrees Celsius and the relative humidity stands at 82%. Temperatures climaxed yesterday at 30.3 degrees Celsius and overnight they dropped to 26.6 degrees. During the past 24 hours, only a trace of rainfall was received here at the airport. Hence, the total for the month remains at 51.4 millimeters. However, other automatic stations dispersed across the island revealed the following rainfall accumulations. Annandale 12.6 millimeters, Bailey's Bacalet 9.6, Bel Air 9.4, Caricom 7.4 millimeters, Maran 11.2, Mirabeau 19.2, and Petit Martinique 5.2 millimeters. Here now is the public forecast valid for today and tonight for the state of Grenada. Weather conditions are expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy, hazy and windy, with brief light to moderate showers increasing overnight. There's a warning in effect for moderate dust haze. Maximum temperature 30.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east northeasterly to east southeasterly at 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Seas moderate to rough, waves up to 8 feet in northeasterly to easterly swells. Hence, a marine advisory remains in effect. Tides are currently falling. Low would be at 9 a.m. and the next high at 3:30 p.m. Sunset 6:31 and sunrise 5:43. Just to recap the public forecast, and that's valid for today and tonight for the state of Grenada. Weather conditions are expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy, hazy and windy, with occasional light to moderate showers increasing overnight. And remember, there are two warnings in effect, one for moderate dust haze and a marine advisory remains in effect. From the forecast desk here at the Morris Bishop International Airport, I am Cecile. Have a lovely Wednesday and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you very much, Cecile.
You're most welcome.
What's the view from your home?
Oh, I have an awesome view from my house. I have a panoramic view of the lagoon and the Carnage. I can even see our lovely Parliament building. So the view is spectacular.
Can you see the hospital?
The outline, yes, I can. Actually, I can see the hospital.
So that means you can see Fort Frederick?
No.
You sure? You sure you can't see Fort Frederick?
No, I cannot.
Okay, I thought I would like catch you there with that one.
Can't catch me. Try harder, Archie.
If I had caught you, girl, I would laugh you to death.
I know.
Because there's no Fort Frederick will be behind you.
Behind me, yes. I can see the trees, the tall trees.
Right.
behind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't worry. I'll catch you one day.
Keep on trying.
You know I wouldn't stop trying. Yeah.
Okay.
Take care. Have a wonderful one now.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Great. It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.therealfmgrenada.com. Wednesday it is. Nabila, what do we have on Wednesdays at around this time? I didn't hear that. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Waterwise.
Water. I wonder if we have a waterwise this morning. I'm doing so and quickly checking. There. Yeah. Okay, make a guess and see who sent it. Let's see if you know who sent it. It's either one, either Jamila or Wendy.
I'm thinking Wendy.
Don't go into your thing and look, Nabila. That's not fair.
No, Wendy. Wendy normally sends it nowadays.
You peep.
Oh, I peep.
Yeah, you peep.
But Wendy normally is the one who sends it.
You peep, man.
Water, Earth's purest life-sustaining resource, can easily become contaminated by environmental conditions. NAWASA continues to improve the quality of its water supply through state-of-the-art water treatment systems and trained, experienced staff. NAWASA preserves our health and quality of life. NAWASA, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Good morning, listeners, and welcome to another edition of Waterwise, a production of the National Water and Sewerage Authority, NAWASA. I am Wendy Chateau. As we gear up for the potential forecast above average 2021 Atlantic hurricane season, we continue sharing with you snippets of a recent press conference hosted by the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, SEDEMA, speaking to expectations and preparedness for the season. Here is Acting Executive Director Elizabeth Riley speaking to regional collaborations outside of the Caricom bloc.
We are one geographical space and systems, they don't discriminate. SEDEMA has a number of relationships that we have built out with non-SEDEMA participating states. And these include with the Dutch territories of the Caribbean. A few years ago, we signed off an agreement with the government of the Netherlands. It was signed by St. Martin on behalf of the Dutch territories. And we now have a formal cooperative arrangement in the area of disaster management with the Dutch territories. And we, in fact, our relationship is building so well. 2 years ago in 2019, December, we actually held our Caribbean Conference on Comprehensive Disaster Management in St. Martin. So the relationships that we're building with them are quite strong. In addition, with respect to the French territories, we have an ongoing working relationship with the French territories, which we are moving to formalize. An agreement has already been prepared between Caricom and the government of France for collaboration with the French territories. And whilst that is under formal review, the technical cooperation continues. In fact, with respect to the La Soufrière volcanic event in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have a technical group which comes together and had been meeting, in fact, since January, looking at the dynamics of the science of the volcano as the effusive eruption progressed. And the heads of the volcanic observatories in both Guadeloupe and Martinique are a part of that group. In addition, we have been working with the French territories through the Caribbean Meteorological Organization, the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology, on the readiness actions and looking at early warning actions with respect to hydrometeorological hazards as well. And that's been an ongoing initiative. So there's a lot of collaboration at the level of the non-SEDEMA participating states. And just to touch a little bit on what is happening in the Northern Territories. So with respect to Cuba, we have a collaborative arrangement, which is called the Caricom Cuba collaboration. It's an agreement that's signed off at the level of the Caricom Secretariat in Cuba. And disaster management is one of the areas of cooperation. And we've been working with Cuba now for many years, including in the area of community preparedness, which is an area where Cuba is very strong. And they have sent their teams over to some of our Caribbean states and have done training and familiarizing us with the types of systems that they use at the community level for better preparedness. And with respect to the Dominican Republic, SEDIMA has an agreement with the Dominican Republic. And in addition, under the arrangements with the European Union under CARIFORUM, we work very closely with them on a range of initiatives as well. So there are a number of spaces where we have been working very closely with our non-SEDIMA participating states in this whole area of disaster management.
Acting Executive Director of SEDIMA, Elizabeth Riley. And we use this opportunity again to drive home the message of ensuring you have access to adequate storage in the event of adverse weather, being mindful that clean water is essential to safeguarding health at all times, but the necessary conditions for safe supply can be affected in those situations. Ensure that you can store at least a 3-day supply of 35 gallons per person per day. That's our program for today. On behalf of the entire team at Nawasa, I am Wendy Chateau, wishing you a fantastic day and reminding you to go follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay connected.
Water, Earth's purest, life-sustaining resource, can easily become contaminated by environment. Nawasa continues to improve the quality of its water supply through state-of-the-art water treatment systems and trained, experienced staff. Nawasa preserves our health and quality of life. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Eminem Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials, including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel, and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, inset screens, and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&N Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&N Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
The first word when you speak about furniture is classic. Yes, at Classic Furniture, they design and make the best in local furniture. All their products are made from the finest local wood available on island. You think it, they design it and make it to your expectations. The highest standards at the best possible price, and they also provide higher purchase for you, their valued customers. Located on Ben Jones Street in Grenville, with their factory at Chantimel in St. Patrick. That's where you need to visit when looking for products made of the finest local wood. They deliver and install items at no extra cost. Your satisfaction is their mission. The extra step is taken to ensure their customers are completely satisfied. They do doors and finished kitchens, supplies mattresses, and restores antique pieces to look like the first day they were made. Hey, give us a call on 442-4645 and 442-9726. Classic Furniture, Grenada's homegrown furniture producers.
I told you. There you go again. I told you one of these days I'm going to switch the mic on.
That's fine. I don't say anything wrong.
What?
I don't say anything wrong, so that's okay. You can go switch it on. See, yesterday was perfect example. I don't say anything wrong.
Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caricom, Martinique, and rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Andrea down on my side, together with Nabila Matura. Tristan, Matura, and Maturin.
Mm-hmm.
You guys related, you think?
No, I don't think so.
You're frozen, you see that?
No. The good thing about it is it's actually on you.
Oh, it's on me, yeah.
And I'm so happy for that.
Yeah, so I didn't transition.
Don't transition.
I'm not going to transition because that's what happens. It continues to freeze. And I did promise folks that I'm not going to be speaking about the cameras again.
You look cloudy though.
Yeah.
What's going on this morning?
Oh, no. It's just that the light isn't thingy. but the light is same.
We need cameras.
I said we are not going to speak about cameras.
First of all, you said you was not going to speak about cameras. I never gave that commitment. I can speak about the cameras. We need some cameras. They say I'm an international beggar. I might as well just beg
If you
for
see what I
everything.
just transitioned
I
to,
know,
you will
and
kill me.
That's okay.
Good morning.
Andre.
Yes, sir.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Nabella.
Say again?
Morning, Nabella.
Nabella, the gentleman is saying morning to you.
Hello, blessed day to you.
Andre.
Yeah.
You know Nabella, grandmother live a lot of years in Caricom all she life.
If I know that?
All Nabella grandmother by father live all she life in Caricom, so she and Master could be family.
No, Matura and Maturin. And the Matura comes from her mother's side, not her father's side.
Okay. Because she grandmother by the father's side live all she life in Caricom.
Well, I know that.
So they could be family?
No, they're not.
Okay, have a nice day.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine for the time.
Oh, you are doing fine. Nice to hear you, my friend. Nice to hear you.
Well, you don't want me to do fine?
Yes, that's what I said. Nice to hear you.
Why you pressing on that? Hello?
Hello, sir.
You seem like you want to talk to me, man. Have a nice day.
No. I am talking to you. Am I not talking to you?
Yeah, but you keep shouting out. I can't. Not so because I'm talking to me, because I'm talking to me positive.
But remember that you're in the doghouse, so you have to wait until you come out from the doghouse. You're still in the doghouse, you know.
Now, I know that.
Why is my name being called?
Anyway, my good friend Fluffy.
Yeah, buddy.
I want you to have a wonderful day.
All right, take care.
All right. Where are you? In St. George's already?
Yeah, in the bus terminal.
Wow. How much money you make on that trip come along this morning?
$108.
$108 on one trip?
Yeah.
So by the end of the day, how much money you making?
These days I'm making 4 trips. So 2 up, 2 down, so calculate that.
No. Well, tell me. I don't know. I mean, average. Give me an average.
Like $432.
After gas?
My boss is a diesel, so I put about $60 diesel.
So, boss making money?
Not no. Why you feel there's so much a bus on the road? if boss didn't making money, you know, all this bus on the road, the bank could have take some, and some would have been packed up by the side of the road.
So then it is not correct for bossmen to say that they're feeling no squeeze at this time?
No, bossmen not feeling no squeeze. Right now, we out of the woods as bossmen.
You're out of the woods? Are you sure?
Yeah, as bossmen. Bossmen is out of the woods. The regular bossman will tell you that. Anybody will tell you not out of the woods as a bossman. Something is wrong with them.
Okay. Well, we'll have that conversation another morning, right?
Tomorrow morning I'll call you.
No, tomorrow is agriculture, my friend. Maybe Friday.
Okay.
Great. Take care.
Now, Bella, have a nice day, baby.
Have a wonderful life.
Goodbye, Fluffy. Oh my. I like that one. Have a wonderful life. So we are getting ready now, Nabi.
Why am I frozen? Why? I just said you don't put me in the frame. Take me out of
No, you have to be there.
No, I am leaving shortly.
No. Well, when you leave, you leave. But
I'm frozen.
Yeah, I know you're frozen, and you look horrible. Cool. You know that.
I would never look horrible in this life. I'm sorry. Even on my worst days.
Somebody say Fluffy mixing up people with Ali side.
I know he said that.
Ooh, I like that one.
Good morning to my cousin.
That is a bomb blow. Anyway, so send a message to my good friend. No, let me send it. Let me send it to Dougal because I want him to set us up properly so that his thing. Can you talk to him here, please? Or you can talk to him on your thing? Oh, give him a call.
What do you want me to say to Dougal?
He knows I'm supposed to. He knows I'm supposed to contact him, but he hasn't read the message. So give him a call. And just tell him that we're ready, and then he will do what he has to do. Do you understand?
I like your WhatsApp. I seen everybody who come online.
So your WhatsApp doesn't do that?
No, I didn't remember. I told you I didn't like it.
What
Hi,
kind?
can you check now?
So everything is live? Everything is live?
Now.
Okay. So yeah, he understands.
Right.
Yeah, he understands.
Yeah, our minister just came. Our the minister come on again.
Yeah, she's there.
No, not that minister. I tell
Which
you,
one?
I like your WhatsApp. I seen who come
Oh,
online.
who come online? Yeah. So they can't trick you. They can't trick you until they're not online.
But I don't think
and stuff like that.
The one I downloaded,
So
I don't think it was that.
Where's Dougal?
He should be coming in there.
He should be in there. Just give us a minute and we'll be right with you. But where's Dougal? Dougal should be coming in there now. He probably was in the bathroom or something, or getting ready. So you're right, he's there now. So as soon as he
sets up the thing,
then we'll be a go with Minister Mathurine-Stewart. Hey, it's like yesterday when I went home, it's like everything was wrong inside of the house. I didn't like where everything was. I didn't want anything there. And I got upset. So I started to rearrange.
Okay.
But no, I started to I ain't rearrange yet. So I pull everything out. It is a mess. I pull everything out of position.
Okay.
I wish I had the skills. I'd move the television to. If I had the skills, I'd move the television to. But I don't have that sort of a skills, and I didn't have the help.
Okay.
That's another thing. If I had the skills and the help, then I'll do that.
Understood.
Oh, hold on. No, Dougal. No. It's not. I'm waiting on you, Dougal. You need to do there's something you need to do right there, bro. Let's do this and see. No, bro.
It's a no-go.
No, it's a no-go. Somebody needs to call him. Okay, stay with us.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do.
It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www. I think we are ready to go live with Minister Mathurine-Stewart, Nabila. So I thank you very much for your assistance, and thank Dougal also for his assistance here. And here is hoping that we'll be together again tomorrow morning. Okay, you got that. All right.
I'm making sure that you're good to go.
Oh, you're making sure that I'm good to go. Okay, fine. Yeah, I think I'm good to go. So the first thing we're gonna do is just to let Minister know that we're gonna transition and go live now with your lovely face and your lovely smile. And we just saw you nod, and we know you're gonna smile now. There you go. Oh, I thought she was gonna. Oh, there it is. I know the smile was gonna come. Yeah. So let us do and say, Minister, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Andre. I am doing well, thank God.
All
And
right.
good
Great.
morning also to all of your listeners on
Thank
this lovely Wednesday morning.
Thank you so much. You know, the interesting thing is that everybody wanted to know and I was saying, hey, what should be the first question going to you this morning?
Yes.
And it was simply, good morning, how are you? We couldn't have done it. That had to be the first question. Otherwise, you say, well, wait now, this guy ain't no respect at all.
I would not have thought so, Andre.
So
I think that's a natural question to ask.
yes, most definitely, it is the natural question to ask. And then the next question will come is that, how is the family?
The family is great. We are doing well, thank God. Andre, as you know, recently I had a medical issue we had a medical issue with our son, a mother of two boys, age 4 and age 10. So the 10-year-old had a medical emergency, which required treatment overseas. And so for the last 2 or 3 months, I've been really occupied with that. But I can say that he did surgery and is recovering pretty well. As a matter of fact, yesterday, on Monday, was his first day back at school. He's walking comfortable, and so he's doing well. It was, in fact, a trying and difficult time for myself and my family. But, we believe in God, and God was there and always there for us. And so I just want to thank, God for just basically being there for us at our worst moments, because it could have been, really, really difficult or even worse. So, with God, everything and anything is possible. So I really want to thank him and to thank all the people for their support, their calls, their words of encouragement, their messages. It was really overwhelming. And so that really saw us through those difficult periods.
No, it brings me to the next question. We have totally gone off track in terms of how the questions are supposed to be. But before I ask the next question, we must say good morning to the folks who are listening on Sister Isles Radio, because they also joined us to the live. Good morning to Lendo and all the other guys. There's a young man called Jack who usually does the
DJ Jack.
DJ Jack. I met him once, not so nice occasion when we had the funeral of our brother Elvin Nimrod. I met Jack, and I said Jack and the Beanstalk. But I want to come to Caricom again one of these days to co-host with Jack, because I understand he's quite a bit of fun in the morning. So good morning to Jack and all the others at Sister Isles. And I think you should say good morning.
I believe, Andrew, that you're always welcome to come back to Caricom. And let me just go back to say a wonderful and special good morning to my constituents, the people of Caricom and Petite Martinique, who are locked on Sister Isles Radio this morning.
All right, great. Now let's get to the gist of it. When you made the decision, Minister, to get involved in frontline politics, it was against the background that you were a young lady, a young lawyer on the Sister Isle, a mother with children, young family. What you did was share yourself, Minister, and share your family with not just the constituents of Caricom and Petite Martinique, but by extension, Grenada. How did you accomplish what I tend to think is a very difficult task? How did you do that?
Well, Andrea, just to say that I have absolutely no regrets at this moment. 3 years on, I have absolutely no regrets. It was a very easy decision for me to make. simply because I love Carriacou and Petit Martinique. I love the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And I always had a desire to serve at the highest level. However, this would not have been possible without the support of my family, my husband, my kids, my immediate family, the extended family, and the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. From the get-go, there was no doubt, there was no question. My husband supported my candidacy, supported my intent, he supported what I wanted to do for Carriacou and Petit Martinique. As you know, he too was in frontline politics at one time. He served as a senator with our departed brother, Minister Nimrod. And so he assisted in guiding, and he assisted in basically, laying the groundwork for me. So it was a really easy decision for me to make. And I want to repeat here that I have absolutely no regrets. It has been, very, very rewarding professionally. It has been, of course, trying and difficult at times, but it is a decision that if I have to make it again, I will certainly do so. Andrea, the fact is that I love helping people. I have a deep-rooted passion for women empowerment, for youth development, the protection of our elder citizens, educational advancement of our people, and of course the protection of our women and girls. I have been following politics for a long time as a child, and I've been following the work of the new National Party in Grenada, in Carriacou by extension, and I've always been impressed and remain even more impressed to today. I was always impressed, Andre, with the leadership of our Prime Minister, Dr. the Right Honorable Kit Mitchell. And I can tell you today, I'm even more impressed with our Prime Minister. And so as a young professional, the NMP to me was the only real engine whereby I saw we could have achieved continued growth and development of our beautiful country. And it really, to me, was the only engine, the only real serious engine through which we can really impact and change the lives of our people positively. So again, the decision was quite easy for me. I have enjoyed the support of my family and friends, and I continue to enjoy that support. And it's something that I like, as I said, because I like to serve. I like to assist persons. My greatest moments in office thus far have been that little old lady who would come up to me and just say thanks for whatever I would have done. Yes, we have to do the roads, we have to do the bridges, we have to build the schools, we have to do all of that. But what makes me really feel effective as an MP is just hearing those kind words from really sincere persons. Thank you. That normally makes my day. And that is what I wanted to do. I really wanted to touch lives. I really wanted to change lives. I really wanted to impact life positively. And I think I'm doing that to the best of my ability at this time.
You said something at your lunch, and I was there at your lunch in Carriacou, and you said something at your lunch which had to do with another young lady who you said words to the effect that she was going to be the one in charge of the office, another young lawyer. Where is she and how is she doing?
She's doing well. Her name is Georgelle George. Yes, her name is Georgelle George. She's a young attorney who is doing really well in Carriacou at the moment. It's a young lady that I inspired to become a lawyer, and she has been practicing. She was with the law firm of Nigel Stewart and Associates. She has now transitioned and moved on, doing her own thing. So she's really doing well and blossoming as a young lady, and I'm really proud of her. And I just hope that other young women, especially, and other persons can really take that journey. And I can say that since then, we've had a number of persons from Carriacou and Petit Martinique who have gone on to study law and other disciplines and have been successful thus far. So Georgelle is good, she's great, and she's contributing, and we continue to remain very close friends and confidants.
Great, wonderful. And she works out of Carriacou still?
She works out of Carriacou still.
Wonderful. Yes. You must give her my regards, because I remember you speaking to her on that day, and I was like, you know what, one of these days I have to ask Kindra about this young lady and how she's doing. Yes.
I will. I'm sure she's listening.
Okay, great. Now, Minister, we know we've and I'm speaking from mainland perspective. Carrico people, some may know, some may not. So basically, I'm speaking for everybody here. Who is Kindra Stewart? Who is Kindra Mathurine-Stewart? Who are you?
Every time I get that question, Andre, I start off by saying, first and foremost, that I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm family oriented, and I love people. I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm a go-getter. So I believe in going and get things. What else can I say about myself? I'm hardworking, I'm determined, I'm loyal, and I have the best interest at this moment of the people of Caricom and Petit Martinique at heart. I describe myself as an action lady, an action woman, and I pride myself in producing and in ensuring that I deliver to the people of Caricom and Petit Martinique who have called, who have elected me to serve. So, basically that, Andre, I am first and foremost, as I said, a mother, and a family comes first. I'm religious. I believe in, of course, the power, the greater power, and I love people, and I'm caring, and I've invested, myself in what I do. I normally give my best in everything that I put my hands to, and the politics representation of people is no exception.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is purple.
Purple. Purple is your favorite color.
Purple
All right,
is my favorite color.
that's interesting, because I'm looking there and I'm wondering, is that purple on your lips? Is that purple on those lips? Good. Now, if you had to, Minister, prepare a meal for people who you care about the most, your family members, your sons and your husband, and maybe mom, and you're inviting them to a meal, what would you prepare?
I will be cooking a huge pot of pilau. It is well known throughout my family and inner circle that I'm the best pilau cook. Nobody can test me there when it comes to cooking a decent, huge pot of pilau. That is my specialty, and I'm proud about it. Andre, if you taste my pilau, wow, I don't think you would eat any other pilau. I'm really good at it, and so it is my favorite meal. It is my go-to meal. Actually, I love cooking my pilau. As a matter of fact, when the family comes home, they know what is on the menu. Pilau. I'll cook pilau 2-3 times per week if I do get the chance. I love a good pilau.
Well, I eat pilau, but it has to be hot. I don't like pilau when it's like cold and stuff like that. To eat it, it must be hot for me. So I'll let you know when I'm coming to Caricom, so you're going to organize that.
But of course, Andre, in addition to that, we do our local dish, our cultural food, the roll rice, the roll cuckoo, the stew peas, the meat, the stew pork, stew chicken, etc., etc. That is done sometimes, but not the go-to meal, because it is sort of difficult and timely to prepare. So we do that sometimes. I do that sometimes, but the easiest and quickest and most tastier is the pilau.
It's the pilau. Good for you there. All right. Your mother. Speak to us a bit about your mother, Kindra, and the support that mom would have given to you when you decided to do this this politics thing. How did mom react to it, and what was the support like?
Well, Andrew, my mom is a phenomenal woman. She's a single mother of 7. I have 7 siblings, so I'm from a very large family. She has always been my rock, always been my support, and always been there with me. As a matter of fact, I recall after the last elections, when I saw her first, she said, "Listen to me, you're not going to put me through this again. You're not going to put me through this again." So it is something that has impacted my entire family. But my mom has stood by my side. She has been supportive. She has been everything, like I'm going to Caricom this morning. And when I reach up, I can tell you that I have some hot food, waiting for me. So she has been there with me, and together with my my brothers and sisters and my inner circles, of course, my in-laws, etc. So I continue to enjoy her support. I continue, she continued to be eyes and ear for me, even on the ground in a particular village. She's invested in the politics. Sometimes, she would call, she would say, and people normally go to her and say, well, I need you to tell the minister this, I need you to tell the minister that, I need you to get in contact with her, etc., etc. So she have been really it was strange. It was difficult for her in the first, initially, but she has grown and she have learned, and she's coping well with the transition and with everything that is going on. But she has been my main, sometime advisor. She would hear things, and her spin on things, it is sometimes very, very strange and very different. And so I value her counsel, I value her support, I value her encouragement. And sometimes when I feel a little bit down and I feel a little bit, out of it, it's something that mothers picks up. You don't have to say, Mommy, I'm not feeling well, or Mommy, I'm a little stressed. It's something that she picks up, and sometimes not even knowing what it is, she just says the best thing and the right thing at that moment. And really and truly, sometimes just going home and just lying on her bed and just chit-chatting and just reminiscing, and it's so wonderful. And so I really do appreciate her. She has done a lot for us, myself and my sibling. She has been throughout my entire journey as a child and as a young adult, and she has been very supportive. Now, my mommy never did secondary school, right? She had us very, very young. My first sister, who's the principal of Bishop's College at the moment, she did what she had to do for us, really and truly. She did not really, as I said, had the opportunity to go to a secondary school. But what she did is that she ensured, notwithstanding the challenges that she had, she ensured that every one of us, our 7 children, were invested in a proper and decent education. I can't recall me ever missing a day of school as a child. It was really, really water. It had to be water more than flour for you not to go to school. Mm-hmm. And while she was not in a position to really help us with our schoolwork and so forth, she ensured that we did what we had to do, that we did our homework. She had regular meetings, and so attended school functions, attended PTA meetings, inquired about us, and so she was very disciplined. And so we are here. I'm here today because of her and what she has done and what she has continued to do for us. So I'm very, I hold her dear to my heart, and I thank God for her every day, because it's because of her I am where I am today.
Someone just said to me, Andre, Nimrod Olivier is her nephew, is her mother's nephew. Is that true? That just came up.
That is correct. Nimrod's mommy and my mommy are siblings.
Yes. Okay, so you guys are like first cousins kind of thing.
We are first. Okay. We are first cousins. Yes.
All right. You have 6 other siblings, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, it is not an easy thing to have 6 other siblings in one home, in no home at all, no matter how big the home is. And you don't always rub well with all of the siblings for one reason or another. Now, I'm not going to put you in a bad thing, but just tell me, who was your best one? Who was your real bestie? I'm not going to ask the other end. Or who was your bestie right there?
You're not going to put me in any trouble today. No. So I don't have a best. I love all my siblings equally, and I'm certain that they all love me the same. If you ask them, they would tell you that they think, that's a think, they would think that my best would be my brother after me, which is Kenrick. Now, the reason being is that Kenrick and I grew up as twins. We are just a mere 9-10 months apart from each other. And so we are very, very close. I'm close to all my siblings, but they're normally things that I normally take his side and that I'm closer to him. But that is not that is not entirely true. I love all my siblings equally. As a matter of fact, we share a great relationship. I mean, growing up with 6, 7 persons were very, very difficult in a small, tiny house. It was really, really difficult. But that really taught us a lot. That taught us love. It taught us family. It taught us the meaning of being together. And that's what we had eventually to go by ourselves. And that is why we remain true and close with each other, no matter our different paths that we took. So, sometimes I pray and I wish that my children, my sons could have that same opportunity that I have to be a part of a large family, because it does have its benefits. And so, I'm just happy to have had that experience and to share those and to continue to share those experiences with my siblings.
You spoke of your sister, who is the principal of Bishop's College. What's her name, and tell us a bit about her?
Well, her name is Indra Scott. She has been the acting principal, over the last 3-4 years at Bishop's College.
And
she's my first sister.
Okay. So who is the first child? Who's the first child?
Our first child is Indra.
Okay. And then?
And then myself, Kindra.
Uh-huh.
And then my brother, Kenrick.
Okay. And then?
And then we have Andrea.
Okay.
Then we have Angela.
Okay.
Then we have Ken.
Oh, you go back to the K. Mom went back to the K then.
Yeah. And then we have, of all the letters, we have Zelandra. That's the last. And then we do have a stepbrother that grew up with us as well, Cameron.
I love Mom. You know why I love Mom? She came to the letter Z and said, that's it. I shut it off here. She had to go to the letter Z. What was it like for you, though? Not growing up in that home, but growing up in Caricom, and growing up at a time when the roads were not as they are right now, and there was a gentleman by the name of Elvin Nimrod who was, doing so many things across the 2 islands, i.e. Petit Martinique, Caricom. What was it like growing up then, Kindra?
What I can say is that growing up was always tough. It was always tough. I remember that I had to walk to school. That was from Top Hill to Mount Pleasant. And at the time, the road was not concrete. It's not the way it was today. It was a dirt road. And I recall my mother, who has been a supporter of Elvin Nimrod since the days of the will. So through her, I learned of the name Elvin Nimrod. I learned of the name Will, the symbol Will. And I also learned and I got exposed to the New National Party. She was, an ardent follower of Nimrod through the will and then through the New National Party. So in terms of the road conditions, I recall and I remember its terrible state that it were in, because I had to traverse some of the roads on a daily basis. But I've also seen the transformation. I've also seen the work, the quick work, I may say, in terms of our road network infrastructure and the development that took place within that period. And my mommy always praised Minister Nimrod for his work in that regard, because the Mount Pleasant Road was a critical road that really needed attention. And I recall that was a road that was done in one go. One go meaning that it was not a road that was done 3 feet here this year, 3 feet next year, and so forth, but it was a road that was really done in as fast as possible. And so it really brought a lot of benefit and relief to the people in that area, and especially to the school children who normally use that road to go back and forth to school. So, and other roads through the length and breadth of Caricom and Petit Martinique, really we would have seen a transformation in terms of our infrastructural road networks in Caricom. Something that I know that Minister Nimrod really worked hard at achieving. Of course, there are still roads, there are still some to be done, and we are continuing that process. We have done and continue to do many of our roads, especially some of the inner ones, and we have a lot of requests from persons with respect to roads. But we are trying our best. Presently now we have the Cherry Hill Agriculture Feeder Road project. That is $1 million project where we are doing the entire Cherry Hill Road, and we have other roads, other short pieces that we are getting done. Also in Petit Martinique as well, we also have a number of pieces that are now being constructed. So it is something that has started, and it's something that is being continued under my leadership in Caricom and Petit Martinique.
So would you then say, Minister, that at the end of the day, when the history books are written, the NNP, yes, would go down definitely as the party that would have transformed Caricom in terms of roads, not just roads, but roads, yes. And Nimrod's name will be etched there in stone, definitely. Would you agree with that?
Most definitely, Andrew. That goes without saying. I mean, you could ask anybody in Caricom who are really truthful and honest, and they would tell you that in terms of our road infrastructure, I mean, he is tremendous. I'm not sure if I would be able to achieve all that and more, but what he has done in respect of our road network is highly commendable, and of course, he will be remembered for that work.
So we've established that with Elvin Nimrod. How would you like to be remembered? What would you like your legacy to be? I mean, would it be education or something, or the empowerment of young women, as you just spoke to?
Yes, I would really like to be remembered as a woman who loved people, who really looked out for other people, especially women and girls, who championed the causes for women and girls in our society, who really, impacted and changed their lives positively, I may say. I would really like to be remembered as a caring MP who really continued the transformation of the lives, basically, of the people of Caricom and Petit Martinique.
Minister, it was said, I don't know if you heard it, but I heard it being said, well, this Chinese house, these Chinese buildings could never work in Caricom. I don't care what they say, but we've seen, I mean, and word has it that that location is a beautiful location, one, and the construction is really, really good, and that the people of Caricom are really looking forward to occupying these homes. What did people miss here?
I really don't know, but there are always the persons that are anti-progress, and that is how I would put it down to. This project has been a fantastic project for the people of Caricom and Petit Martinique. And I would tell you that based on the responses and the interest shown by the people of Caricom and Petit Martinique, this is going to be a mega successful project. Now, we've only constructed 100 units, and I can tell you thus far, we've had in excess of over 300 applications. That is persons from Caricom and Petit Martinique only, I might add. So it is a project that persons are interested in, and I know that some persons are dying to get a hand on one of those units. Now, I recall recently we had our completion ceremony held to mark the completion of construction of those houses. And we had our Minister of Social Development and Housing, Minister Thomas, visited us for that occasion. And she would have remarked that of all the three units, the three areas that were completed, Caricom and Petit Martinique looks the best. And I really do believe that. I mean, the location, as you mentioned, it's off the chain. You have a wonderful sea view. The area is very breezy, and it's really clean and fresh. In addition to that, Andre, we also have there's another issue which was brought forward with respect to this project, and that is the issue of water. And as you know, the people of Caricom and Petit Martinique, we collect our water from water harvesting. We harvest our water through cisterns and through tanks and so forth. However, that was not part of this project, in that no water tanks were built, or a cistern, as you say, was built to basically to provide the water. But however, as you know, we have Nawasa in Caricom, and just right next door, there is a storage tank at 6 Roads going into Bellevue South, which is basically will provide the water needed to that apartment or to those units. So that issue is really dealt with in terms of its water supply. So we are very happy and very pleased with this project. The people of Petit Martinique are also crying out now for an individual and separate project in Petit Martinique themselves. And I've also raised that, of course, with the Minister for Housing, who will be looking into it, I'm assured. So just to say, Andrew, that the interest has been overwhelming in respect of these houses, these units. Can you imagine 100 persons will be, have access to decent and affordable housing, something that they did not have before. And I think that is tremendous, and that is really impacting the lives and the people of Caricom and Petit Martinique. It will be remiss of me, Andrew, if I did not say here that we must mention the work of our dear departed Minister Nibo in respect of this project, because he was very instrumental in not just the Caricom project, but in all the projects at the 5 sites. He being as foreign minister at the time, he would have negotiated with the People's Republic of China and the other entities to ensure that we got that project. I also understood that initially 70 to 80 units were earmarked for Caricom. And he ensured that we got not 80, not 70, but in fact 100 units. And so I wish maybe one day that that scheme, that development could be probably be called in his name. But of course, it's something that we will have to see as we go forward.
I have a confession to make, and I have to make it. I have a confession to make. I was driving, last time I was in Caricom, I went to visit my good friend, Miss Matheson. And I was driving from there, coming back to Hillsborough, and I saw this massive tank by Nawasa in the bush. And
Yes.
I'm like, that's on the left-hand side of the road. I'm like,
The left-hand side.
yeah. I'm like, oh, now I started getting crazy. What stupid is that? They put this thing in the bush. I feel so ashamed now when you're saying, hey, RJ, this is basically the tank that is going to serve the people in the housing scheme there. I apologize to Nawasa here, because it wasn't fair for me to think of them as being crazy people and building a thing. And it shows you here, Minister, what it does show you is that if you don't, because I didn't speak to it, I left it alone. If you don't know why something is being done, the best thing is to shut up and wait. And I'm happy that I waited. And this is I'm happy that I waited.
That's so true, Andre.
How do you think you will be able to deal with, because you spoke of the folks in Petit Martinique wanting houses, but of course knowing Petit Martinique, putting down a structure like that might be the impossible. You have any ideas of what you might be able to do if it will fall under something different in housing, so as to take care of the needs of the people in Petit Martinique?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, there is in fact a need for housing in Petit Martinique. The difficulty for government in Petit Martinique in respect of any development is that of land. There is little or no crown lands available in Petit Martinique. So anything that government has to do or had to do in the past had to really depend on different families giving government lands a swap or so, or really an acquisition. So that is an issue in Petit Martinique itself. But in terms of the housing units in Caricom, it is open for people in Petit Martinique as well. So of course, once they would have satisfied all the criteria that is set down by the Housing Authority of Grenada, they will be included in the Caricom scheme. I mean, Caricom and Petit Martinique is not that far apart. There are daily daily means of transportation back and forth. And so we find it, some persons find it very easily to relocate to Caricom if needs be. Most of persons in Petit Martinique currently works in Caricom, so it's not difficult for them to be included under this scheme. However, I do appreciate that they, of course, would like to have their own on island, because I believe that, of course, the situation there needs some attention. But in the interim, what we're going to do is to, of course, to include them once they would have satisfied all the criteria as recommended by the Housing Authority of Grenada.
You spoke about sea travel there between Caricom and Petit Martinique, which is, sort of a seamless, really. And sea travel between Grenada and Carriacou, although reliable, some folks think that there's a need for it to improve. Recently, your government would have done something with the Osprey in relation to carrying patients from Carriacou, Petit Martinique down to mainland for more advanced medical care, if you'd want to call it that. How do you see that developing in the years coming?
Well, thank you, Andrew. I think that's a very important question because connectivity between our islands, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, is important to the overall development of our country. And so transportation is critical at its core. At present, we have two modes of transportation between the islands. We have a boat ferry. We have two boat ferries, but three boat ferries, and we also have the SVGA. Now, because of the COVID lockdown and the rules and so forth, previously we had some form of transportation going between the islands almost every day. And I'm speaking about Grenada to Carriacou and Carriacou to Grenada. Also with the plane, SVGA normally traveled via that way as well. However, since the COVID restrictions and the lockdown and so forth, the Osprey has only returned to a semblance of what they used to do before. So they're only operating on 3 days per week, the Monday, the Wednesdays, and Fridays. I think similarly, the plane has that same schedule, and also the Dolly Sea has that same schedule. But I wanted to state here, Andrew, that this is not a decision of government to have all the entities run on that particular date, but it is a decision that has been made by the owners and operators of these entities and ferries, not that of the government. However, we have been really working and partnering with the Osprey Express. And recently our relationship, Osprey and government, has really grown really close. And so we had partnered with Osprey in terms of creating a sick bay on Osprey to accommodate patients traveling to Grenada for urgent medical attentions. Now, Andrew, what pertained before was that patients were placed on the floor of the Osprey, on the ground, without any form of confidentiality, any covering, etc. And basically that, to me and to most persons in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, were inhumane, was very degrading, and was unacceptable. And so you heard the cries of the people that we needed to have better accommodation, better way in which the people of Carriacou can be transferred, especially when they are at their most vulnerable moments, being sick. And so I approached the owners and operators of Osprey. We sat down, we had many discussions, we had many back and forths on this particular issue, until finally we have arrived at this stage whereby they would have removed the 4 back seats in the boat, and they would have created a sick bay for patients there to be transferred from Grenada to Carriacou and vice versa. Now this to me will really help and would assist in what basically, happened before. And I can say to you that the people, the nurses, are very appreciative of this particular effort. It's something that we have been fighting for a very, very long time. In relation to Dolly Sea, I must say that the Dolly Sea also has a sick bay, properly equipped with all medical equipment and so forth. But however, as you know, the Dolly Sea is a much slower vessel than the Osprey. So in terms of emergency, the most likely vessel to be used would be that of the Osprey. And so we partnered with the Osprey to ensure that this happens. Now, Andrew, in relation to that, after that was done, it was rumored that patients then have to pay the cost of the entire 4 seats that was used by Osprey. I want to use this medium here this morning to say categorically that there is no truth to this. There is no additional cost to be paid to Osprey. There is nothing more, nothing less. Normally, as required, a patient would be required to purchase the Osprey ticket, which is $80 one way, I think $160 return. That is what pertained before, and that is what pertains now, whether or not you use the sick bay. Of course, if you're sick and you cannot be transported seated, then you would have to utilize that area, and there's absolutely no added or extra cost in relation to that service. So, Andrea, I'm very, very happy to be a part of that. I can tell you that during the last elections, when you went to the homes and you listened to people, this was one of the things that people talked about, the manner in which persons were transferred from Grenada to Carriacou, and of course the state of our overall healthcare in Carriacou and Petite Martinique, which this government is taking serious steps to address at this time.
So it brings me to the next question. What have you and your government done in relation to healthcare? And that, of course, includes the hospital. What have you guys done in the past 2.5, 3 years? What stands out? What can you thump your chest about?
Yes. Andrew, I can pump my chest about a lot of things. Unfortunately, I really don't like to pump my chest. But I want to say to you and to the people that presently have extensive work being done on the Princess Royal Hospital under the Smart Hospital project funded by PAHO, the Pan American Health Organization. And this work is in excess of $1.5 million. That is in respect of the hospital. This project, Andre, started in July of last year, and it involves the installation of smart electrical appliances, new windows, doors, etc., alarm detection system, etc., etc. And in addition to the Princess Royal Hospital, which is near to complete, so basically at the end of the construction, we basically would see a brand new Princess Royal Hospital. So at the completion of construction, we would see the installation of a brand new X-ray machine to be installed at the hospital. The X-ray machine at present is in Grenada in storage, and we at the moment discussing with and engaging potential operators of that equipment. Further to that, Andrew, we've also refurbished extensively our Hillsborough Health Center. So the Hillsborough Health Center and the Princess Royal Hospitals are our two main primary healthcare providers in terms of facility. And those both facilities have been extensively repaired. We would have new equipment, new machinery, new everything in those equipment. I believe that healthcare starts with our plant. It starts with our environment. It starts with our facility. And we have invested millions of dollars in that regard. So in relation to what we have done in Carriacou in terms of healthcare, we have our two main primary healthcare centers. We have invested heavily, millions of dollars in those two healthcare facilities. And very soon, both facilities will be open for use by the general public. And in addition to the X-ray unit that's going to be installed, it's also the intention to install a small laboratory to ensure that certain tests, certain lab test investigations can be done in Carriacou. Because at the moment, just a simple blood test, that blood has to be transported to Grenada for testing and back up to Carriacou. And of course, we all know the issues with that. Sometimes the blood, what we say clot, sometimes it's no longer good, it's spoiled. And so there are challenges where persons have to wait 2-3 days before they can get back a result from a blood test. So we are looking into that. Also, Andrew, in relation to what we have done, healthcare Carriacou, there are times when there may be emergencies, when you may end up in an accident and you need to move right away. It could happen on a day when, as I said, none of the vessels are probably running because they're only running on scheduled days. What happens? What happens to that person who has to be transported to Grenada immediately? Government and to the Ministry of Caricom, again, we have partnered with Osprey. We have a very good relationship also and a partnership with the Coast Guard and with other entities to ensure that patients are transferred and in some cases free of cost in emergent situations to get urgent medical attention in Grenada. Now, I would tell you the cost of moving the Osprey Express on a chartered basis is $10,000. And it's highly unlikely that some persons would have that facility, would have that money up front to pay the Osprey to come down on an off day to get medical attention in Grenada. So what government did is that we set up a fund, of course, with regulations and stipulations, so that at least we can cover that cost for persons who are unable to do so in case that they have to receive urgent medical attention in Grenada via the Osprey. So these are some things that we have done. And we know that there's a lot of work to be done. We are committed and we continue to partner with all the various entities, the Ministry of Health and other ministries to ensure that the health of our people in Carriacou and Petite Martinique remain a primary priority for me and the government.
As we are on health, it will be remiss of me if I didn't speak to COVID and the handling of COVID on the islands of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Speak to us about that. How's it been?
It has been tough, but we are very proud of what we have been able to achieve with respect to COVID. And I would boast, I would beat my chest, although I don't really like to do that,
Yeah.
to say that Carriacou and Petite Martinique is one of the few places in the world where we never really got touched by the COVID. We never really got an actual case on island of the COVID virus. We've had 2 reported cases, and those persons were aboard a yacht outside the Cyril Bay Marina area, so they were not even on island. So we have not recorded any local cases of COVID-19 in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. And might I add, Andre, that this is not by luck or by chance, but this is because of the deliberate efforts, the deliberate actions of our government in securing our borders, in basically securing us to ensure that COVID does not come in. And so far, we have been doing a wonderful job in relation to that. As a matter of fact, the Ministry of Health, the leadership of our Prime Minister, and everyone concerned, the COVID team and everybody, our healthcare professionals, our frontline workers have been doing a remarkable job in relation to successfully managing the COVID pandemic. And I can say that we too in Carriacou have been doing our best, and all of our efforts have been paid off, because so far we have been able to leave COVID where it is. not in Carriacou at all. I just hope and pray.
I take great
that we
offense to that one. It's like you leave it in Grenada and leave it where it is. I mean, come on.
Well, leave it wherever it is. and I must say, Andrew, that it was very difficult, because most persons did not understand what we were doing at the time. We got a lot of cuss out. A lot of people was angry. A lot of persons was upset. Some people said, Minister, well, why can't I not quarantine in Carriacou? And so we had to take strong measures, strong but successful measures. And today we are actually reaping the benefits of those strong and decisive measures that we took back in 2020 and earlier this year to keep our people safe. On that note, though, Andre.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to speak on the issue of vaccination.
I was going there. Go on.
Because that is very important to ensure that we continue on this successful trajectory. And so far, we've vaccinated over 1,000 persons in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Everywhere I go, I have been speaking about and encouraging persons to get vaccinated, because honestly, I believe that at this stage, it is our best shot to get back to where we were, to get back to our social life, to get back to things as the way it was prior to 2019, prior to 2020. And so far, we have been getting people to vaccinate, but I don't believe that we are getting enough persons to vaccinate. Now, recently, I conducted about 3 pop-up clinics in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. And I can tell you from those exercises, we had over 150 persons coming out to vaccinate. So as the MP in Carriacou on the ground, I am doing my bit to ensure that persons come out to get vaccinated. However, there are a lot of talk, a lot of anti-vaxxers out there, and it's no doubt some persons are believing some of the things that they're saying. But I want to use this platform this morning to further encourage and to further ask all of our people to get vaccinated if you have not done so at this time. I hear people complaining all the time about why the state of emergency, why the curfew, why we can't go to parties, why do we still have to wear our mask, why we still have to observe the 3 feet social distancing, why the protocols, why this, why that. It is important that we continue, and it's necessary that we continue to observe all these protocols, all these regulations, and of course our legal framework to continue to keep our people safe. Now, if we look as to what is happening just next door to Trinidad, I think just recently St. Kitts and Nevis have an upsurge in cases. Look at what was going on in India. Look at what is happening around the world with respect to COVID. We really cannot get we cannot let our guards down. We have to be ever vigilant, and we have to do our part to ensure that we keep our people safe. And the best way at this time is to get vaccinated. I am vaccinated, and I want to encourage all of you who have not yet been vaccinated to do so today.
9,500, roughly about 10,000 people in Carriacou, and you have 1,000 already taking the vaccine. Definitely, as you've alluded to, it's not good enough.
No, But I think
Go
what
ahead.
you said was the amount in Carriacou. What's the population
You have a
you said?
population of maybe, let's say, roundabout, according to the last census in 2019 that was done, your population should be something like 9,595, I think. That should be your population in Carriacou.
Yeah. But it's more like 6,000, 7,000 now, I believe.
But you people left? I say people would be running to Carriacou, people left. Okay, but 1,000 definitely is not good enough, Kindra, is it?
It's not good enough. It's not good enough. I agree. It's not good enough, and we really need to do more in terms of getting our people out to be vaccinated. I'm trying. As I said, I had about 3 pop-up clinics where we actually brought the nurses in town at the Hillsborough Tennis Court on 3 occasions. For persons to go there to get vaccinated, because as it is now, they are at the Leicester Clinic, and of course for persons who are living in the north might find it extremely difficult to get down there. And so we have been doing our best on the ground to ensure that we get as much persons, especially our persons with underlying conditions and persons over the age of 60, to get them vaccinated. But of course, it is not that easy. It is not mandatory, and so persons, some of the anti-vaxxers are getting to them, some of the rumors and whatnot, people are listening to that. So it's a very difficult sell. But what I can assure people of is that if we really want to get back to some form of normalcy, Andre, the vaccine at this time is our very best shot.
What I did see when I was in Carriacou is that quite a lot of the elderly people and some of the bus drivers, I did see them wearing their masks quite a lot, and that I took as a plus, as opposed to us here on mainland.
Well, Carriacouans and Petit Manics are known to be well-behaved and disciplined people. We are law-abiding persons. I'm not saying that's not
us too.
I'm not saying that in any way, but I'm saying we are known to be law-abiding citizens, and so we took our responsibilities very, very serious. And so I want to applaud the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, because of course it was through the efforts that we can boast that we've never had COVID, and if we continue to be on that road, we probably would never have COVID in going forward. So I really want to applaud our people for basically adhering to all of the COVID protocols and restrictions without problem. And of course, the police for doing their work and understanding the peculiarities of the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And I think that really assisted us in basically ensuring that people wore the mask. I think that moral persuasion really drove home rather than the heavy-handed use of the law. I think that moral persuasion was what really got people to wearing the mask. But I can say recently that I have observed that the amount of persons wearing the mask have been reduced significantly. Of course, it could be due to many reasons. People would tell me, Minister, well, we ain't had no COVID here. Sometimes I go out and I'm having a mask. Sometimes I'm the only person wearing a mask. And one guy came up to me and said, Minister, you're going to kill yourself. Take that out your face. Stuff like that. But I think people are starting to get wary of the whole COVID situation and the wearing of the mask and so forth. But I just want to appeal to everyone that we are not out of the woods as yet. COVID is still around, it is still alive. As a matter of fact, it's getting even more contagious and it's even more potent. So we have to ensure that we continue to abide by all of our protocols and regulations to continue to keep us safe. If not, then we have to take our vaccine.
Well, do you know the name Phyllis Matheson?
I know Phyllis Matheson very well.
She just said, "Good morning, Minister. You're doing great and you're looking great." So you deal with Phyllis.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Phyllis.
and let's go back to one that came since about 5 minutes after 8 when we were talking about food and you speak about pilau.
Pilau.
CJ Noel say, "One pot, boy, she bad." All right. There's at around that time also a lady put up Woman of Action, G.I. Jane. So I guess that's how they view you. So those are pretty pleasant comments, and
yes.
You would expect you expect at times that there'll be some vicious comments, but this morning we're not seeing any of those this morning. So if it points to how you're doing, then it means that you're doing pretty okay. Because I'm looking on the live here and I'm not seeing any adverse thing. It's only Phyllis again saying it's the hardest thing to do is to convince people to take the vaccine. So I guess yourself and
Yes.
Phyllis and others will be, trying your best to convince people to really and truly take the vaccine.
Well, Andrea, I just wanted to say that yes, I'm an action woman. I like to see action, even if it means sometimes, getting down there and doing it myself. I like to see things happen. And if you were to drive throughout the length and breadth of the constituency of Caricom and Petit Martin, you would see real action on the ground. And I can say to you that's one of the things that people have been commenting and have been congratulating me on the amount of things that we were able to get done in the constituency throughout from year 1 to year 3. And of course, it can only get better as we go forward.
It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. Also, our friends on live, good morning to you. YouTube, good morning to you also. And here's hoping that you guys are having a wonderful morning, especially listening to Andre Donald and Kindra Mathurine-Stewart. Now, I tell you something. You spoke about him, and I let it slide, but I don't know if you're aware that Nigel and I are very good friends. Ever since he came down, I used to call him the silent one, because the only time you heard Nigel speak was when he had to do so and get up as a senator to speak. Other than that, you're not hearing Nigel at all. And we formed a sort of a silent friendship, silent respect. So how is he doing? How's he doing?
He's doing well. He's doing well. He's my rock, Andre. He's doing pretty well. Well, he's into private practice, so he's doing his thing there. And I'm doing my thing. So we are doing well. He is, a family man. He was all supportive and there, especially with my son. He traveled with us. He traveled with him. He ensured that everything was done. He's a wonderful human being, and I'm lucky to have him as my husband.
Now, I did ask you earlier on your favorite color. Now, I'm going to ask you now. Most young people, when I was growing up, I was into Westerns and other action books like The Action Lady. What books were you into, Kindra, while you grew up as a young lady? What books were you into?
I was into the romance section.
I know my big sister.
I was into the romance section. I used to go to the library and take books, and my mother, she never, I used to hide some of those books, but I was always into the romance section. And then I moved away to those suspense, those ones like the John Grisham and others.
Mm-hmm.
But I was really more into the romance, and I still do love a good romance book ever so now and again. That 50 Shades of Grey was really good.
Oh, okay. I did my fair share of reading the Shades.
Angela, don't tell anybody I said that.
No, I wouldn't. I most definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't. Somebody, Belinda.
But I'm into romance.
Okay, great. Belinda Clement.
Even on movies too, even with movies and so forth. I don't like the action and the kick up and the whatnot. I prefer a nice, good, romance movie. That really sets my evening.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you what's your favorite movie, and you just said romance is your favorite. No, the other question before you answer it, the other question is, do you like television?
I don't really do television. I don't. I can't even tell you what I like to look at on television. I don't look at television. The only thing that you would find me looking at on television is tennis. So like now we have the French Open that is going on. So I would look at tennis. So the US Open, the Wimbledon, and so forth. I love tennis. As a matter of fact, for weeks I've been asking my husband to get the tennis channel as part of our package, and I've not been able to do that. But I love tennis, and probably that's the only thing I look at now recently in relation to tennis. I'm not a fan of the daily shows, the Young and the Restless, the Passion, and the whatnot. That I don't look at that. Some of the other shows that is happening now on Netflix and so forth. I do have a Netflix account, and I can tell you I don't know when last I went on to that. As a matter of fact, you don't really have the time, to look at some of these shows and so forth. But yeah, that's where I am with television. I like tennis, and with respect to news and reading, whether it's BBC and the other international things, I have my phone. You have the different apps. You get little notifications, and you do your little reading there. But in terms of watching television, I am not a fan of watching television like that.
Here's where I say to you, if tennis is what you like and you want a tennis channel and so on, I suggest that you speak to a gentleman by the name of Stan Phillip. Do you know him?
Yes, I know Stan Phillip.
Speak to Stan Phillip. That's all I'm prepared to say at this particular point in time, because I'm not giving Stan any free adverts here. So I'd say speak to Stan Phillip, and he might be able to help you.
Yeah, I love a good tennis. As a matter of fact, it's a sport that I took up playing myself for the last 5 years or so. I played tennis. I still love it. I have entered many competitions. I've lost some, I've won some. Great. But it's a sport that I like. In addition to netball, as an avid netball, I do play netball. I love that. I am also playing cricket, but also only win ball cricket, that is, not the hard pampo balls.
It's interesting though.
But I like cricket and netball and tennis, yes.
It's interesting that you'd say netball, because Minister Yolam Bain was an avid netball player. Dangerous one in her time. And I think she dabbled with tennis, but I think it was table tennis. I'm not too sure if I'm not too sure if she did lawn tennis, but I know she dabbled in table tennis. Well,
table tennis. That is correct, Andrew.
Yeah. Well, maybe more than dabble, because she played. She might want to hold me my throat now and say, "Hey, how can you say dabble? You're not supposed to say that." But
Andrew, I made Grenada national netball team already. I also the captain of Caricom netball teams. Yeah, I mean, back in my day, as people would say, I was bad. But old age, sort of creeping, injury, so I do play it, but not as before. The village I'm from, Top Hill, Montreal, we had a netball team. Our netball team was unbeatable. I mean, I normally played goal defense and sometimes goalkeeper. And you could ask anybody in Caricom as one of the wickedest or baddest goalkeeper that ever passed through.
You go, girl. You go.
So I'm into sport. I love it. It keeps me mentally and physically strong, and it's something that I'll continue to do. I just love it.
Well, I tell you what, What just happened, because there's a guy called Pele Dabo, Oswald Pele Dabo. He listens to Real FM, and you being into sport and you being into tennis, I am sure that Pele Dabo has become one of your fans, right? Instantly like that. He loves sports, and I know he's also into tennis. But Minister, it's good that we had this discussion, because not many of us would have realized that you played netball at that level, making the national team. I honestly don't remember. Please forgive me for that. But it's good. It's good to know that we have parliamentary reps, not just ministers, but parliamentary reps who would have gone on. Yolam Bain, yourself. I can't say Delma played anything, but I can't say that. I know she'd want to kill me, but it's really, really, really good to know. Now, as we come to the end, two questions I really want to ask you. What do you think would be the next project that you, Kindra Mathurine-Stewart, would like to see in Caricom PD Martinique?
Andrew, there are a few projects that I would like to see, and first and foremost would be our building construction of our ministerial complex for Caricom and Petit Martinique. That's one. Secondly, I would like to see the revitalization of the botanical gardens in Caricom, something that we are working towards now. I would also like to see the lighting of the Hillsborough recreational facility, something we are working on now. I would like to see more roads, especially our Limley Road, being constructed. I hope that we can get it in under the second phase of the Agriculture Feeder Road project. I would like to see a new TAMCC building That has been some issues for us in the past. As a matter of fact, I know now that the Public Workers Union and the Ministry of Education is in dialogue with respect to the relocation and the status of our present building in Caricom. I would like to see a museum. I would like to see a place, especially in the northern area, where our shipwrights, persons who would have, is in the business of making and building boats, be properly documented, and where persons can be trained in boat making and sail making, etc., etc. So these are some of the projects that I would really like to see, and of course more for the development of Caricom and Petite Martinique. In Petite Martinique, of course, I would like to see a proper recreational facility for the children, the people in Petite Martinique. I'd like to see housing units go down in Petite Martinique. I would like to see a sporting camp. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that I would really, projects I would really like to see happen. But of course, our resources and probably time, may not allow us to have same done in the near immediate. But I'm certain that with the new National Party government, with our Prime Minister, with the leadership that we have in this country, that we'll be able to get, if not all of those projects done in a very timely manner.
Here's an advice for you from one of your listeners, and this one is based in Canada. And the person saying here, ask Kindra to check out authors like Brenda Jackson and Melissa Foster. So those are books, and I know those are romance books.
I hope they're okay.
Yeah, they had to be romance books. That person, I know the person who sends that, and it has to be romance books. And I'm thinking that they are romance books. Let's leave it like that. They're just they are romance books. Now, my final question for you this morning, Minister. When we look at Grenada, Caricom, Petite Martinique, and we look at where we are now in relation to this term of politics by the new National Party, 3 years have gone by. We don't know when the Prime Minister is going to say, okay, fine, let's roll. We don't know. So one must be in a position of readiness. Are you, Minister, are you ready to roll out whatever you have to roll out so as to ensure that the seat you occupy at this time returns to the ranks of the new National Party?
Andre, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to roll and I'm ready to rumble. I am very confident in the work that took place over the last 3 years in Caricom. I am very confident and happy with my representation thus far. I'm very comfortable and happy with the relationship and the closer relationship that I've developed with the people of Caricom and Petite Martinique. Now, Andre, I have been in and about my constituency. As a matter of fact, I believe that I am one of the most accessible MPs. I am accessible and I bend backwards at time to assist my constituents. I am very happy as to where I am. I'm very happy with respect to the work that have been done. And I'm confident in the people of Caricom and Petite Martinique. What we have in the NNP, what we have in Caricom is sound leadership. What we have at the helm is people that genuinely care about the people of Caricom and Petite Martinique and its development. What we have is people that continue to provide for the people of Caricom and Petite Martinique. And that is what I want to stress here, Andrew, because I ensure, and I will continue to ensure, that the people of Caricom and Petite Martinique continues to benefit from all the social programs, from all projects, all activities that are taking place on mainland Grenada, that we have some semblance of same in Caricom and Petite Martinique. I'm happy with the support that I've received over the past. I'm happy with the love shown, and I am confident in the work that I have done and will be doing as we go on. If it's one thing, Andrew, that people cannot see and will not see, and I don't expect them to see in Carriacou and Petite Martinique, is that I have not done anything, or that they have not seen this MP, or that this MP only comes to their home once a while or only around election time. I have been on the ground with my people. I have been knocking doors. I have been meeting people, whether through the constituency office, whether through my street light meetings that I'm now wrapping up in my constituency. I've been holding timely meetings, even through the COVID lockdown. So we met on Zoom virtually. We had many Zoom meetings just to keep, of course, my people updated and abreast with the developments, re-COVID and other things. So, Andre, I'm confident, and should the Prime Minister ring the bell today, the seat or the constituency of Carriacou and Petite Martinique belongs to the new National Party. It will stay with the new National Party because we have demonstrated time and time again, because we have what it takes to ensure we see the continued development and advancement of all the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. There are a lot of people who makes a lot of noises. And sometimes I say, maybe I need to be a little bit more vocal, maybe I need to be a little bit more upfront, maybe. But the truth is, even as a politician, I really don't like the spotlight. I really find it challenging sometimes, Andrew, to be up there, and to be in people's faces all the time. But I do what I have to do, and I know that I'm impacting and I'm touching lives, and I can feel it and I know it. And you can only expect greater and better success from the constituency of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, because I have done the work and I will be doing the work. And I know that the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique have always been true to themselves and always been, appreciative of the new National Party and the work they have done in this constituency.
Charmaine McFarlane, Margaret Noel, Cynthia Bartholomew, Belinda Clement, they all saying good morning to you, and echoing the fact that you have done a tremendous job for Carriacou and Petite Martinique. It's not very often.
Good morning, guys.
It's not very often a minister gets the chance to at least try to upstage the Prime Minister. I hope you didn't, because he's on in a couple of minutes.
I wouldn't want to do that at all, Andrew. Not at all. I love my Prime Minister. I respect him. I think he's one of the best. As a matter of fact, I still remain in awe of him. He is just, is a different human being. He is really one of a kind, and I would not want to do that at all. He's a gentleman that I have great and utmost respect for. He's our beloved and dear Prime Minister. I know that we have to join him now.
Yes.
So, Andrea, it was a privilege and an honor to be here with you this morning, and I want to thank you for the invitation. And feel free at any time to call on me, or maybe I can stop by or pop in whenever. But it was my absolute pleasure. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I wish that we can continue it in the future.
The only thing I know in Spanish is mi casa, su casa, whatever that means.
But I don't know any Spanish.
Take care of yourself.
So take care, Andre. It was my pleasure. I'm joining now to Carriacou.
Okay, then have a safe one now. All right, bye bye.
Yes, you too. Bye bye.
Right, great. It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. We've been speaking there to Kindra Mathurine-Stewart. We're going to be having our news, and after the news, we should be standing by to join for a press conference by Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Claudius Mitchell. Stay with us.
To get our share.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour,